Perfect.
What is up, everybody? It is Deal Finding Friday with me, Nathan Payne, and my man.
What's happening? How we doing, everybody? Man, it's Privy. It's Deal Finding Friday. I love Fridays. I say it every Friday, and I'll continue to say it every Friday. Fridays, Deal Finding Friday with Privy. It's my favorite.
Yes,
Absolute
man. We,
time.
we we love using Privy. We love talking to agents. We love doing deals. Let's freaking go. All
And
right.
that's what we're doing today, man. What do we? You wanna tell them a little bit what we got in store for today?
Yeah. So when people are hopping on, just tell us where you're coming from for our live viewers. And obviously, if you watch this later, please tell us where you're from, and we read the comments. So yeah, today we're gonna freaking take action because it's all we. Who cares about the theory? The theory is cool, but you can get the education from YouTube. You can get it from a coach. You can get it from Chatbot GPT, for goodness sake. But who cares about information unless you're willing to take action? So we're going to show you guys exactly how to take action today. We're going to call some leads. We're going to try to get some agents on the phone. You know what? Heck, I think we should even call some agents from the live audience. I think we should call some people from the live audience. I think that would be dope. Does anybody here? Jacqueline Boubion, good to see you. She's coming from Los Angeles. Welcome. Halfway through Nathan's 13-day challenge. Let's go. That's
Love
awesome.
it. Love it.
So Nathan did a challenge on our YouTube channel. If you just search Nathan Payne, he shows you on the YouTube channel how to get a deal in his 30-day challenge that he did. Tell us a little bit about the deal that you got using, Privy and basically zero.
Yeah,
Yeah, zero.
guys, so in this 30-day challenge, I picked a market that I knew nothing about, had no resources, no contacts, and I was going to try to do a deal with spending absolutely no money. No money on marketing, nothing. The only thing I spent money on, the only thing was Privy. That's it. Best money I ever spent. And I live in Danbury, Connecticut, and I'm calling people in Orlando, Florida with a New York cell phone number. There was only one tool I had. There was only one tool I needed, and that was Privy. So if you guys want to, if you're like, hey man, I like the idea of Privy, or like, how does Privy really work, or how should I be using it? Definitely check out the challenge. Like, guys, Privy is ridiculously discounted right now. Like it's crazy what you can do with it. So that's an amazing place where you get to see it in action, and you guys will get to see today kind of what it looks like. How, you can set up Privy all the cool ways, but a lot of people have the question of like, okay, like now that I do have Privy, how do I have these conversations? What do these calls look like?
That's right. And so I did just put in the links. If you don't have Privy, give it a shot. You get to give it a shot for 30 days. And if obviously if you don't doesn't work for you, then you can get a refund, which it works for everyone. So you don't need to do that. But it is an option to help you out. So I just threw the link. Use this link. If you use the promo code Thrive, you actually get a like a 20 to 30, I think it's 20 to 30% discount on your first month. So give that a shot. And that's the code that we just threw in there. And before we kind of go into action, I just want to let everyone know that, yeah, we have these Deal Fighting Friday calls. But obviously, if you you want to learn more about how we use Privy, you can always reach us on painlesswholesaling.com. That's where we do a masterclass where we actually show you how to use Privy even deeper. And but yeah, anyway, if you want to check it out, please do. Nate, you want to share your screen, bro? You want to take this away, or do you want?
Yeah, let's go. So, guys, what? Hold on, let me present my screen to you, and then we're gonna make some phone calls.
But also, Nate, if there's anyone on here that's watching this live that wants us to call an agent for them, or maybe we could even throw a guest on here, dude. Maybe one day someone that's in the live, we can bring them right up on here and we can say, hey, let's call somebody for you. But do you think we should do that today, Nate, or should we just show them how you can make some calls? What do you think?
Man, I don't know. Once I get in the groove with calling agents, I like to just keep calling them. So I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards let's call some agents and see what goodies we can drum up. So real quick, guys, what I'm showing you right now, this is my email. I created an email when I signed up for Privy specifically just for Privy. I literally call my email Privy email 1@gmail.com. And if anybody's weird like me and you don't like putting your real name, I put like Bob Jones or like John Doe. I always do that. So Privy, I know for the users of Privy, I just did a masterclass last week for just people that are members of Privy, and I showed exactly how I set up all my filters for Privy and how I did it in my 30-day challenge. And so what you see right here, these are free deals. These are free deals that Privy brings me while I sleep. So literally every day I get to wake up and I can go to my email and Privy sends me, hey, here's the properties that meet your criteria right now. So we're going to take a look. So I'm going to click on this email because it says it's got 12 in here. And we're going to see if there's any in here. I'm going to take a closer look. These are all properties that Privy's emailing to me because it met the filter criteria that I set.
Nate, can you tell me a little bit about how you got that criteria that made you confident enough to set a filter for?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Can you tell everyone how you set the filter and like why you chose that? Because I know a lot of people that set filters, they're a little confused on like, okay, why would I set this? Why would I limit myself? Why did you set the specific filter you did?
Yeah, great question, guys. So when setting your filters for everything, specifically with flipping real estate and wholesaling, it all comes down to your buyers, right? So you want to be looking for what buyers in your area want. So that's really gonna dictate everything. You know, for your lead generation, whatever method you're using, I use Privy, but that's gonna guide you and let you know what your filter should be set at. You know what you should be looking for. So for me, you're gonna see a lot of 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. So let's take a look at this. So Privy sends me this email. Click here. Now I am taking a quick look to see, is this property worth my time to make a phone call? So it's a 3-bed, 2-bath, just under 1,400 square feet. I love that. The first thing I'm looking for as a wholesaler, primarily, guys, we're always looking for motivation, right? So one of the biggest ways we look for motivation or a distressed property or situation to where we could add value is, what's the condition of the home? So I'm taking a look here. I'm like, okay, this kitchen, like, it's a clean house, but very basic, right? Could definitely use some updating. Nothing crazy. Like it could use some work. Was probably a rental property, would be my guess. Now, the other thing that I like is it's been listed for 23 days, right? So I'm not calling the first week it's been listed. So it's been listed for a little while. It's not fully updated. And then I'll take a quick peek at the notes, turnkey home, no HOA. Okay, I like that. They did a little bit of work, electrical panel, cool. Let me scroll down. I'm gonna take a quick peek at comps. Now, I know for my buyers, this is right about in the price range that my buyers in Orlando are looking for. They like to buy at or below 300,000. They typically are not interested in anything over 300,000. But I want to go here, and I always go to settings and I hit all. I want to look at everything. I click save, boom, gives me all these results. Now, the way I like to do is I like to take a quick peek if there's a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm like, okay, what is closest to my property that has sold, right? I'm looking for similar comps, similar properties. All right, this is a 3-bed, 2-bath. Ours was built in 1977. This one's built in 1978. It's a little bit smaller, and this sold for $315. Okay, I like that. And it's literally like right next door to our property. What's this? Now, this one I don't like as much. Why? Because it's on a different street. It's at the end of this cul-de-sac. So automatically, I like this one way better. So let me just quickly take a quick peek at this and see, what does this property look like? Guys, does our property look like this? No way. And this looks like a fix and flip. And the reason why I say that is because looking at this, it might be hard to tell for you guys watching on YouTube or Facebook or wherever, but you can kind of tell that, like, hey, it looks like this stuff is edited in. So yes, guys, like all this stuff here isn't real. So fix and flippers, what you can do is, rather than spending thousands of dollars to stage a home, you could get a picture like this and you give it to a company or a person or an expert, and for like $40 or like $30, they'll edit it so that it looks staged. And this is like my favorite part with Privy. Boom, before and after button. So I'm going to click here. Guys, look at it. They bought it in 2021. It looked like this, and it now looks like this. 100% a flip. I also love that I can see they bought it for 150. They did a lot of work to it, but they bought it for 150. So I know that if I were to call this flipper, he's probably, if my house wasn't similar to this, like just looking at a picture, I would know he's probably going to want it relatively close to this. And then if I wanted to know even more, I'd click on property history. I'd come down, seller, New Direction IRA Inc. I would try to look up and see who that buyer is. I try to contact them directly. If I couldn't, then I would just call the listing agent, be like, hey, who is the fix and flipper that did this house? I have a property nearby that I think they'd be interested in. So I'll tell you what, let's call the house. I'm gonna call them right now. Guys, you know what's crazy? I'm also gonna do it without having a dialer or without having like any special phone number. I'm gonna call them with a New York phone number while I'm in Danbury, Connecticut.
Bro, are you gonna call? Are you also gonna call without really diving super deep into those comps, dude?
100%.
But I really want to know exactly my numbers, Nate. I really want to spend a couple 30 minutes, maybe an hour, making sure I'm 100% certain. Should I do that? Should I waste my time doing that?
Absolutely not. So guys, you know, even I spent more time just because I wanted to explain to you guys my process and some quick things that I look at. But first and foremost, I'm just wondering, in like 30 seconds, I'm trying to figure out, is this worth a phone call? And then I'm going to make the phone call. I'm not looking at comps and being like, is this properly priced? Guys, if this is perfectly priced and you comp it and you're like, wow, that is a good deal, like you're already too late. Not that you can't still do a deal from it, but I promise you, if it really is priced well, it's already going to have multiple offers. So this is where we got to make the deals happen. This is how you get MLS deals, is by making these phone calls and piecing it together. Because guys, believe it or not, so I'm dialing in this phone number just real quick. So what I did, it's got the name of the agent and their brokerage right up here. So I just copy and I paste it into Google, and then I'll click on like realtor.com or something, and boom, we want their cell phone number. So let me take a sip of water.
Get hydrated, brother. So like Nate said, you don't want to spend, let me tell you something else. You don't want to spend hours and hours or even 30 minutes comping this thing and doing too deep, because unfortunately, Sarah might not even answer. And that would be a complete waste. A complete waste.
Let's find out.
Yep.
Hi, this is Sarah Bosch with Watson Realty. I'm not able to take your call at the.
We're going to redial that.
I'm going to say something. If my agent that I paid doesn't answer her phone, she's fired.
I'm not able to take your call at the moment. Please leave a message and I will call you back. At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, Sarah, this is Nathan. I was calling about a listing I saw of yours that I was interested in. If you could, please give me a call when you get the chance. Talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye. All right, guys, real quick, couple things on that voicemail. So 1, upbeat tone, right? Energetic. I sound really interested. 2, I didn't tell her what property I'm calling about, because if she has multiple listings and if I'm calling on like the crappy listing that's been giving her a bunch of headaches and she's like, if she hears like, oh, he's calling about that one, I'll get to him. I want her to think that I'm calling about the $1 million mansion and, you know, she's super hyped about it. So that's why I don't like to say what property I'm calling about. And then I say, hey, call me back when you get a chance. So if anybody wanted to know how to leave a voicemail, that's how.
So that was a perfect example of not wasting hours comping a deal, because we might not hear back from her for a while, right? And then when she does call back, we might have forgot, right? So don't waste your time, everybody. Do not waste your time. This is a job of efficiency. Okay.
Love this. All right, guys, what do I love about this? Just like, these are not good pictures, right? Like, just, they're not, you know, doesn't have the lighting. They're not edited. You can tell the home could definitely use updates. I'm loving this. It was listed 1 day ago, so I don't like that. And it's it's a 2-1. I'm not a fan of it. It's a 2-1, but 1,300 square feet. Interesting.
Nate, I will
Sometimes,
say
guys, they list it wrong. What's up?
I will say something that Jerry Norton teaches is he says that there's two ways that he gets a lot of on market deals. He's either the first one to call and to strike, like speed, or you the process where you look at it later, because there is power in calling immediately. Because if an agent's just like, dude, they're motivated, the seller's motivated, they just would take the first offer. Happens all the time. So people just know that having these filters on there that hit you, sometimes it's about calling the quickest.
Yeah, guys, and also agents are people. They make mistakes. Like this could be a 3-bedroom, and they might have entered it in wrong. So one thing that I do is when there's something really big about the property, and like to me, I'm not obviously I want to look at whatever comps are the closest, but like a 2 bedroom's a really big deal. So I'm gonna go down to the comps and I'm gonna sort by bedrooms, and I will look at what are the other 2 bedrooms. Can I scroll over? Did they move the scroll over button? Oh no, silly me. It's over here. So I'm gonna look at all these 2 bedrooms, and I just want to kind of get a feel for what price points are they selling at. We've got one here that sold for 500K. So guys, when you see a crazy number, it's one of two things: either like it was sold as a package, or it's a totally different area or neighborhood or a totally different property. So I love this. Privy shows you somebody bought it for 215,000 and sold it for 345. I want to look at this because that's probably a flipper. Cool. And it's only 800 square feet, 1950. Ours is 1950. It's got a 1-car garage. I love it. And he bought it for, I'm just taking a real quick look. Boom. So this is definitely a fix and flipper. So if I were to get this property under contract, he bought it for 215. So let's call this agent. I'll be honest, this agent probably going to be a hard no, because one, it's priced at 349 and it only listed a day ago. But for you guys, we're going to make it happen. So again, I'm going to copy here. Guys, and like if you're unsure, just make the call. Like it takes 2 seconds, right? Never kind of leave it up to chance. If you're like, like maybe it's got potential. For me, the reason I'm calling this one, we already looked at that one. The reason I'm calling is because it needs work. Like this could use an investor. I would be shocked if it sells at this price.
Yeah, that kitchen, go back to that kitchen, man. That kitchen is that's nasty. That's nasty.
That is very nice.
While you're typing that in, Nate, shout out to our boy Jason. He says, trust the process, trust the system. If you ain't called 3 times, you ain't called once. He's calling you out, Nate. He's like, you called twice, bro. Trash.
Yeah,
he's calling you trash.
To me, 2 is good enough. I like 2 and I move on. But to each their own. Look, 3's okay, 2's okay. Anything more than 1. That's kind of my rule of thumb. All right, let's call this person up. What's this dude's name? Alexander?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Give him a call.
Hello, this is Alex.
Hey, Alex, this is Nathan. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks. I was actually calling about a listing I saw here of yours on Valencia Road.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just calling to see if you had a few minutes. Did I catch you in the middle of something?
No, go ahead.
Oh, perfect. Well, yeah, I was calling. I see you guys just listed it. I'm interested in the property. I really like it. I'm actually calling because I'm looking at it as a potential investment property. And I was wondering if you could, tell me just a little bit about the property and, anything in particular that you think would be important for someone like me to know.
Sure. Hold on a minute. Sophie, get that out of her mouth. Sorry, man. I got a puppy and I got her in the yard with me and she's eating everything in sight.
Oh, you're up in New York?
No, I'm here. I'm in Florida.
Oh.
Yeah, I got a little puppy. She's out in the yard.
Oh,
And she's eating
the yard.
So, but
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, man. I mean, I've been talking to quite a few people today about this house. So, the house is solid. It's an old house built in 1950. It's a solid block construction, concrete, stucco siding. It probably the last time it was updated was in the 80s. Because if you looked at the pictures, the pictures are I put it in there, and it needs some modern updates. The house is stuck in like 1986, but it's a solid house. The owner is been the owner, and this is second owner. She's been the owner for 34 years.
Oh, wow.
And she lives alone, and the house is livable. I mean, somebody can move in. It's very clean. It just needs a lot of updates. Plumbing, it was repiped in 1999 or 2000, somewhere in that. So it has PVC piping throughout the house. Half the house was redone as far as electrical goes. They rewired half the house, changed out the panel when she installed the new AC unit back in 2016. She got a new HVAC unit, so that's new. The other side of the house has the old electrical box. It is a Federal Pacific box, so it does need to be replaced.
Okay, so it won't pass for insurance.
I don't believe so. No insurance. Well, it would have to be replaced.
Okay, got it.
So she has an estimate for it, $750 to replace the panel. To reach an estimate, she just got it on Monday, this past Monday.
Okay.
So it's not like, because almost the entire house was rewired. Not sure why they didn't do that.
Yeah, that's so strange.
When they did it, but that's that. The roof is 06. So I know for a fact that most insurance companies right now most of them are not even doing things over 15 years old, and the ones that are, they're requiring a wind mitigation, and then they'll bind the policy probably for 60 to 90 days to replace the roof. So, but that's all in there. She's a retired, older lady, and she doesn't have money to make any repairs. So she's, I was pretty clear on that.
Okay,
that's why I priced it where I priced it. In that area, as you know, if you've been looking, there's not much in that price point. There's nothing.
Got it. Okay. No, it's really helpful. So so it sounds like there's the electrical panel, obviously kind of the updating and stuff, and you said needs a roof as well, right?
Correct.
Okay,
well, the roof is old. I mean, she don't have any problems with it, but
right.
Insurance companies in Florida and roofs is like a bad topic right now.
Yeah. And what
Are
is
you from Florida? This isn't a Florida number.
No, I'm actually no. So I'm all the way up in Danbury, Connecticut. So little bit of a hike.
Yeah, but it is right in the heart of downtown. It's if you know the Orlando area, I don't know if you do or not, but it is right in the heart of downtown. It's a less than 2 miles to the to the entertainment district. You got big sports complexes. You got of course, it works downtown in the financial district. It's less than 2 miles, 10-minute bike ride.
Yeah.
3-minute car ride and 30-minute walk.
I guess, I know you had mentioned she's an elderly woman. She doesn't have, the money to do the repairs. I guess ideally for her, what's kind of perfect scenario for her,
What do you mean perfect scenario?
Like I know, so like kind of one example is I know sometimes like I had spoke with a couple to where like they for them like they didn't want anybody to come do showings. That was kind of big deal. Two, they were really nervous about a quick closing. They were nervous about someone wanting to buy their house and closing too quick before they had the time or money to go find something new. You know, and I know sometimes, like, especially with kind of older people, I know sometimes like there's houses to where there's just a lot of stuff, a lot of clutter, and kind of they're really concerned about, you know, getting rid of all of that and how they're going to kind of figure that out. I know sometimes like I'm able to kind of put together something to where I actually take care of that, you know. So, you know, of course they take anything of value, anything that they want, but anything that's like, you know, difficult for them to move, or it's just junk, or they want to get rid of it, they don't have to spend money on a dumpster or anything like that.
Yeah,
you know,
so
something to take
I
care
don't
of.
mean to interrupt you. What was your name, Nathan?
Yep, Nathan.
Yeah, Nathan. So if you saw the pictures,
Yeah.
there's not much furniture in there
Mm-hmm.
at all. That's the way she lives. She's a very simple person. She's retired. She's not poor by no means. She's we've already actually acquired her a new home.
Oh, nice.
So as far as you know, she's not making any repairs because she just doesn't want to, and really in this market right now, she doesn't need to.
Yeah.
So far, just so you know, I have 11 showings so far scheduled for today. I got 6 for tomorrow and 3 for Sunday, and I've already got 5 offers.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So,
Yeah,
house is priced to sell, and I priced it at $349.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm just curious,
like,
what?
Yeah, it sounds like you're you said you're an investor, so you know.
Yeah,
particular house in that neighborhood. If you've done any research, you put in $100,000 in that house, and you could sell it all day long because there's a few in the neighborhood fully renovated for $550 and above.
yeah. I mean, well,
it's a
it's
win-win for any real investor.
it's a big gamble for sure. You know, yeah, there's a lot that goes into that. But I mean, honestly, it sounds like you've got a lot of stuff lined up. You know, I know you'd mentioned you have five offers on the table. I guess what's kind of, you know, holding her back from, you know, just moving forward with one of those?
Because I just listed it yesterday evening at 7, and these are the first few offers that we've gotten, and I still have showings all the way through 8 o'clock this evening.
Yeah.
So it would be unfair of me to have her go ahead and make a decision on the 5 we have without seeing what the rest of the day is going to bring.
Got it.
So,
No,
if you've
that
been
makes
buying
sense.
in this market, you know, there's a lot of people that'll give you they'll say, they'll put in the realtor comments that they're not going to make a decision for a week or 10 days or 5 days. We're not doing that. We'll have a decision at the end of the weekend.
Yeah. No, I totally
But
understand.
I'm not taking it off the market or the table unless somebody comes in with a deal that we can't refuse.
Yeah. Well,
So far, all the offers I got are pretty much the same. None of them are cash. So that cash buyer is out there.
got it. I guess well, let me ask you this, Alex. My number one goal is, look, I'm not typically able to be the highest priced buyer by any means. But my number one goal is I'm not looking to waste anyone's time. Of course, I don't want to insult, you know, your seller or you with the low offer. That's not my goal. You know, and you guys have a lot of interest already. I don't think you'll have any problems with selling it. I guess if I were able to make a cash offer, you know, and close their timeline. Also, I don't know if I mentioned, Alex, but I am calling unrepresented. So, you know, of course, if we're able to work something out, totally happy for you to represent me and get both sides. Or, you know, if you wanted to offer it to her as a discount, that's cool too. But I guess my question is, you know, like I said, not looking to make an offer that would insult her. You know, if I were to make a cash offer, you know, where do you think it would really need to be to even be competitive?
I would tell you it would need to be above 360, not below list price. So, I mean,
Got it. So all
you
the
mentioned you don't like to waste time, neither do I.
Yeah.
I just tell you up front. You know, I got 3 that are north of 360 and 2 at the list price. So I don't have a problem telling you that.
Got it. No, I totally understand. And it sounds like, yeah, you have no concerns about, you know, those offers being able to go through or get financed or anything like that.
It's just, you know, again, you know, there's no way that I'm gonna, advise her to pull the trigger and make a decision right now, unless it's a decision, a cash decision over asking price and a 10-day close.
Yeah.
If we got with no contingencies. If we have that, then there's no reason to sit and wait for anything else.
Yeah. No, I hear. I mean, honestly, I think well, I guess like if you think like the house would be able to be financeable, like I don't. Do you think it'll still be financeable with like the panel and the roof and stuff?
Yeah. So the roof, it would be financeable, but an insurance company it's going to bind. They'll give you a policy. They'll bind it for 60. Most of them are doing 60. There's a few that are doing 90 days. You have to replace the roof in that time period. Otherwise, they'll pull the insurance.
Yeah. Got it. Well, honestly, Alex, I'm probably not the right buyer for you guys.
I mean, my background is I'm also a mortgage broker and a realtor. I've been doing this for 25 years.
Yeah.
So it's not, I mean, it's financeable right now. Any FHA, VA. The only thing that is not available in that area is USDA.
Yeah.
But VA, FHA, conventional, all day long.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, you guys are all set. I'll be I don't think as an investor, I probably just wouldn't be the right fit for you guys. I think there's definitely stronger buyers for you for sure, and you've already got some on the table.
Yeah, this is definitely by no means is a distressed property.
Yeah.
So,
well, Alex,
like that's what your cup of tea is.
Well, just something that we can add value to, if it makes sense for the property, if it makes sense for the seller. Like I said, we're not the right fit for everyone by any means, but for the people that we're able to be a great fit. But yeah, it sounds like that's not the case. You guys are all set. Alex, I'll tell you what though, if feel free to hang on to my number. This is my cell phone. If for whatever reason circumstances were to ever change or whatever the case, please feel free to reach out anytime. I'm always happy to chat with you.
Yeah, definitely. Well, take care. Thanks for the interest.
All right. Thank you, Alex. Take care. All right.
Yes, that's interesting. He said that they wanted a cash offer, but he was comparing his financed offers to your cash offer. It's like, bro, if you want cash, that's what I would have brought up. This is the one thing that I would have told you to do is just be like, hey, no, I get it. You're saying you got offers at 360, but those aren't we're not going to have to go through the whole process. We can close quick. We take care of the closing costs. And I would have said that, but that doesn't mean he would have.
For me, and like, this is so funny because like, this is what I love because you guys get to see different people's styles. Like, so for me, like from the get-go, did anybody think he was interested in what we had to offer? Right. Like, and that was kind of my thing is from the get-go, he's like, bro, like, nah, man. In his head, he already has the property sold. That's what he's thinking. Right. And us as investors, we're like, brother, it's not over till the fat lady sings. Right. They're like, oh, you've got all these offers, but there's a lot of red tape they have to go through in order for those offers to work. So that's why, I don't want to get in a back and forth with him because I do want to leave this open because it's only been listed for 1 day. So that was the exact conversation that I was expecting is everyone's like, oh, it's priced perfect. We've got a ton of offers. The house needs a roof. Yeah, it needs an electrical panel, but we have all these offers. Okay, well, wait until they go through 1 or 2 inspection periods and 1 or 2 failed offers. And then I'm talking to them, 40, 50, 60 days from today, motivation changes. And that's why I want to speak to them. But today I'm just kind of setting that groundwork and to see if it was something they were interested in. But right now they weren't really looking for what we have. So
yeah, now let me break this down for everybody that's watching. Nate's great at sales. I'm great at sales. I'm sure a lot of people are watching this great at sales. There's nothing you can do to convince someone to take a low ball cash offer. There has to be motivation. So Nate, you're not leaving that phone call questioning your skill set. You're not questioning yourself. And that's, I think, a big problem that a lot of people have that are new is they're like, well, what could I have done? What did I do? It's like, and they think about it too much. It's like, no, hop back on another call. Let's go. Don't overthink this. The guy, nobody could have done anything right now. And that's why the follow-up game is important. Now, Nate, what I would suggest and what we teach is, I'd send that guy a text with your contact info. I'd send him an email. I'd send him some information about our company so that, he can see you're legit. And because one call, this guy, I promise you, Nate, and I know that you don't do this, but anyone's watching this, he'll never call you again. He
Yeah.
doesn't know you, he doesn't trust you. You're from Danbury, Connecticut. But if you show that he is that you're like legit, he's going to remember you. So you have to do specific things to get them to remember you. All right. And everybody that's watching, there's a process to do that we teach. But we're not diving too much into that follow-up process.
Yeah, guys, and just really simply, like a few things with that call. Like one, I know people get worried, like, oh, like what if they ask me like where I'm from? I told them I'm Danbury, Connecticut, and then we moved on. Right? Wasn't a problem at all. Two, one thing you guys can take away from. Oh, the second thing, really important that I wanted to say. Did you guys notice that I didn't even make an offer? I didn't shove a cash offer down these guys' throat. Like, I didn't need to say, well, if I were to make cash offer, I'd need to be at 200. Would have been a waste of my time. Would have broke like any rapport that I did have with him. It would have been hurt even more, and would have lost any future chance of potentially buying this property. And it just would have been like, that's not a fun call to have. That's not a fun conversation to have with people, So it kind of like hurts your morale a little bit. There's no need for it. There's no need. Zero interest in what we had to offer. So great, we move on. We're not, again, you can't convince people, right? It's in sales and negotiating, it's not about convincing, right? Really think of it more as a game of I'm trying to uncover, I'm trying to learn. And if you notice, that's what we did, right? So I got so much information from him. I got to learn about the seller, her situation. She's an old lady. She's already moved into another house. So there really is no stress with her for this house. He said money's not an issue for her. Now, he did talk about some issues with the house, the panel, the roof. If you notice, I kind of relayed into that, when he talked about his other offers. Oh, you already have 5 offers. What's holding you back? For him, he's like, brother, it's just to get more offers, right? Got it. Now, he said none of them are cash offers. I said, hey, if I were to make a competitive offer, where do you think it would need to be at? He said it would need to be over listing price. Great. Like, I'm not the right buyer for you. And did you guys see how I framed it? Right? Hey, look, Alex, I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm an investor. I'm typically not able to be the highest priced. But my number one goal here is I'm not looking to make an offer that would insult you or the seller. That's not my goal. I know you've already got a bunch of stuff on the table. If I were able to make a cash offer, if I were able to make a cash offer, where do you think it would really need to be at, to be competitive or, to even be something of interest to her? And he told me, and I'm like, cool, without having to spend hours comping a property, right? In 2 seconds, he told me, like, okay, great. Like, we're not even remotely close to a deal. On to the next one, right? Cool.
Yeah,
I hope you guys
very good way to execute that. Everyone should go back and watch how he made that offer, because this is the thing. Do you think if Nate, do you think if this guy was motivated, if there's a certain sort of motivation, the guy probably would have said 360, and they would have said, ooh, I definitely wouldn't be able to come up to that. If there was any motivation, he'd say, well, what can you offer? Or he'd be like, well, make me an offer. Let's know what you got. But he doesn't even care. He's like, whatever, bro, we got tons of offers. So it's really like, there was no need for Nate to be like, oh, they want listing price 360. I'd be like at 200,000. That's not going to do anything. Right. So it's not, a lot of people think it's about making offers and just pushing them in front of people, and they just have to keep going and making offers. And that's why people that send like emails with offers nonstop, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. They don't know who you are. They don't trust you. You need to have that relationship and be strategic in the way you make offers.
Guys, one phone call like this is more effective and will get you significantly further and will get you more deals than 50 blind offers in an email. I'll go against anybody with that, right? I want to say that one more time. One phone call is more effective than 50 blind offers. It's more than 100. Honestly, like I don't even know if you can compare. Like, you could almost pick any number, and I'm going to say one phone call is going to be more effective for you, right? I've spoke with people to where they're like, Nate, man, like I'm making all these offers to agents, like I'm comping all these properties, and then we're sending our offer at the price. And he's like, dude, I've been making over 50 offers a week, for 6 months, and I haven't done a deal. My first question to him, and it was all to agents. My first question was like, well, how are you making the offers? He's like, we're just emailing them. I was like, you're not calling the agent. You're not having a conversation, nothing at all. He's like, no. I was like, brother, that's why. I was like, instead of doing 50 offers a week, dude, I'd rather you do one. Like, I'd rather you make 5 phone calls and make like maybe 1 offer. Like, you'll get way further with that than, just making one blind offer, or with making like 50 blind offers. So, yeah. And then a few other call is, shoot, I just lost my mind.
Let's give some shout outs to the people watching. Just Gathering Info. My boy says I would never make offers over the phone. So take that with a grain of salt, Jason. We're not saying never to make offers over the phone. We're just saying it doesn't need to be if there's no reason where they're like at 500,000 and you're at like 200,000, right? Like if there's no motivation. So don't you make offers over the phone. You just I hope you're not saying that, because we definitely want you making offers over the phone. And he says Nate Dogg is a pimp. Yes, Nate Dogg is. Derek is go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, the one other thing is he talked about, this is really important. I feel like people do this a lot with sellers, agents, whatever. He was like, oh, any real investor knows that, oh, you buy this for $350, you put $100,000 into it, it'll sell for $500 all day. Okay, one, if I walked him through the math, you'd lose a lot of money if all of that was correct. Two, I don't know if ARV is 500. I didn't look at it. One, at a real quick glance, I knew 500, probably going to be a stretch. Now, the most important thing, whether I know for certain, like, oh, I comped this, like ARV's maybe 400, or if I didn't comp it, which I didn't, I just took a quick look. Either way, I'm not getting into a back and forth with him. Right? I'm not disagreeing. All I said to him was, I don't, it's a bit of a risk, man, just to kind of tone it down a little bit with what he's saying, but I'm not getting into a back and forth. I'm not saying, well, what about this property and this property sold for this? Or, man, I think your ARV's off. Or I think
convince him, bro. He's
exactly. And all that does is it hurts rapport.
Yeah, so he thinks he's tight. He's been a broker, a realtor for 25 years. Nate, did you feel any necessity to talk about how long you've been investing or how your experience? Like, no, you don't need to. And that guy's just flexing. So you don't want to get in a pissing match with an agent that thinks he's tight, because you're not going to win. They have the relationship with the seller. They're going to tell the seller what to do. So you're not going to be able to convince an agent. You want to have the relationships with the agents where they're open to working with you, where they want to chat with you. But if immediately they're acting tight, just be like, no need to fight with them.
Yeah, guys. And like another thing is, we got to remember to put our egos in check, right? So if I'm being real, like, dude, he does have multiple offers on, allegedly, but like, they do have multiple offers on the table. Like, I probably am not, given this circumstances, I probably truly am not the right buyer for them. It sounded as if there really wasn't much value that I can add to this woman or her specific situation. So they have no need for me or my offer. Like, it's just not the right person, not the right scenario. We're looking for people that we can help, right? First and foremost. And that's why motivation is so important. I don't care if it's a cash offer. I don't care if you're looking for creative finance, whatever the case may be. We are looking for people and or problems that we can help, we can bring solutions to. And that's why when we're talking, we're trying to uncover situations, because we're trying to see, is there anything they said that we can add value to? Now, he brought up the roof, he brought up the panel, but right now they're not in the position to where I can offer value to them. Maybe 30, 40, 50 days from now, if all those offers don't pan out and they don't get financed or whatever the case may be, if those aren't able to go through, then maybe their motivation changes. And now they're like, hey, remember when we spoke a month ago? Is that still, like, let's revisit that conversation. So it's just not right now. I wouldn't put this totally off the table. I would say, this is like a great property to just keep tabs on and follow up. I would take a look at it 2 weeks from now, and see if it's pending or what the case may be. Cool. Man, did we take up an hour already just from that?
Bro, it takes a while to talk through, making offers.
Man, I kind of want to. Let's see if we can do a speed one. Let's do a speed call. Show you guys if we were to go through it quick. What could this look like? All right, so I like this. It's a 3-1. They did a price drop. Looks kind of nice. Great for an investor. We're gonna call it without even. We're not even gonna look at the comps. So that's something I'll look at in the notes. Is like if it says cash offer only, great for an investor, handyman special. I don't need to look any further. I don't care what it's priced at. I don't care how long it's been listed. They are literally saying, please call me, right? Because we're going to learn so much more over the phone. Let's see. We're looking for a cell phone number. I do not want to call. Boom, right there. Do not want to call an office number. All right. Let's call 407-756-6440. Calling Annie.
Hi, this is Annie.
Hey, Annie, this is Nathan. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. I was calling about a property that I saw you had listed here on Piedmont Street.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just calling to see if you had a minute to chat about it. But
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I kind of saw it here. I was taking a look at it. I'm interested in it. I'm looking at it as a potential investment opportunity. I was wondering if you could just kind of tell me a little bit about it and anything in, particular that would be good for someone like me to know.
Sure. So I sold that home to the current owners in 2019.
Oh, awesome.
They're just looking to purchase a larger home. They're originally from Haiti. The roof was replaced in 2018, HVAC 2010, water heater 2021, and they had the whole home repiped in 2021 as well. I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'd have to look into it, that the exterior was painted at some point prior to them owning the exterior. Since they've lived in the home, they've been living in the home since 2019. It is in some needs of a rehab on the inside, in my opinion. I think floors could be redone, kitchen and bathroom.
Okay.
But other than that, it definitely has good bones, good potential. I don't know. What else do you want to know?
Okay, so structurally and mechanically, it sounds like everything's good.
Yeah, again, when we did the inspections the first time, everything came back good. Obviously, they've lived for a few years. No inspection had been done. We did have it under contract recently, but the buyer never submitted escrow.
Okay.
So we sent the cancellation for that. She did have her contractor go by the home. He estimated $57,000 for a rehab, but they also wanted to add an additional bathroom. That was the only feedback I got there.
Okay, got it. Okay, perfect. Now, other than that, because I'm looking at it, it doesn't look terrible by any means. It looks nice.
Yeah, again, what I've explained to other people, they've been living in it, since 2019. But like, for example, the flooring, you can't really tell in the bedrooms, but there was new carpet that was replaced prior to them moving in. But she put, and I don't know why, she put like vinyl, like the peel and stick kind of tiles on one of the floors. And then like in another bedroom, she removed the closet doors and added like a closet system. So
Okay.
it just needs, some sprucing up in the inside.
Okay, got it.
And then also, the oven does not work. They are leaving the refrigerator. there is an outside like utility closet, I would say, that has washer dryer hookups, but they do not utilize those right now. I don't know if they just use the washer, no dryer, but there is like an outside laundry room, if you will.
Okay, got it. Okay, yeah, and yeah, I mean, I'm looking at, like I said, it looks pretty decent. I think it's priced really well. I guess, from your opinion, what do you think's kind of been, holding people back?
Well, we did receive offers between 190 and 205. So the cash offer we accepted, or they accepted, was at 205. So that was why we did the price decrease from 215 to 200, because we felt like the market was telling us, with submitting those offers between 190 and 205.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, it did go pending. We did get multiple offers. So, yeah, I feel like at this point it's priced pretty fairly. I mean, my phone, we've had like 8 showings today.
Oh, nice.
I'm hoping it will go by Monday.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yes.
I just curious. I know you'd said they came back with a rehab of 57,000, but they were looking to add a bathroom.
Yes.
Did they say? I know originally their offer was at 205. Did they say what they thought for them their offer would need to be at?
She never did, and like I said, they didn't submit escrow. I think she was trying to get the contractor in there first, and to be honest, he didn't even go inside the house. So they had an 11 o'clock appointment. The sellers were there. He never went because they have a security system. So I followed up with her. I was actually representing her as well. And she was like, sorry, the contractor just went by the outside of the home, and based on the pictures from the inside and him seeing the outside, he felt like 57 with adding a bathroom. But that was the only information that I received.
Oh.
And then at that point, they asked for the price reduction to 190. And the buyers were willing to accept that because they were also allowing a post-occupancy through June 18th with a 10,000 escrow holdback. So that was very attractive to them as well, that they didn't have to pay rent and they could still live in the home. And then we were supposed to close May 19th, and then was getting ready to submit a contract for them when the buyer, originally she told me she was moving forward and didn't, and I kept kind of pressing on her with the escrow, and she just never turned it in. So I sent her the cancellation.
Got it. It almost sounds like you just got kind of like a new wholesaler or something.
I know, and I was trying to figure out, because even when I got the approval letter, I reached out to the contact on the approval letter, and even the person I spoke with, it sounded like the person who submitted the offer, she had this LLC, but then he was the investor.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I approve this. This looks good. The only thing he did tell me, I'm just trying to give you all, I like to give as much information as possible.
I appreciate it.
Was that he said the shed that was on the property, he said he used the words it's illegal, which I was like, well, when we purchased it, nothing came up. He's like, well, nothing would have come up. He's like, I'm just not seeing it's permitted, but there is a shed in the backyard.
Got it. Huh. That's weird.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, at least you're done with them, so that's good.
Yeah. I was like, I need escrow submitted. And on yesterday, Friday, she was like, we're moving forward. And then the next message I got like 3 hours later was, sorry, the investors, something like, I'm trying to remember the words. I can look back on the text, but like, they don't want to buy and hold in that area.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So
and I don't have a ton of experience with investors. I usually help, buyers with purchases. So,
yeah, you'll have to save my number so that for future reference, you can just be like, hey, is this person an investor? And I'll be able to let you know in like 2 seconds.
Okay.
So for this property, it sounded like for the sellers, do they already have like the next place lined up? Like, do they want a quick closing or do they need more time?
I was trying to I wanted to get them under contract, especially in this market first, because I think it's going to be a little bit difficult to get them with a contingency. So that's why this particular offer was attractive to them, because it did allow them a post-occupancy, to give them the ability to close on May 19th and then have that time to have that cash to then close on the next home.
Got it. How much time do you think they would like to have?
They gave them a 30-day post-op, but I honestly don't think that's necessary, a full 30 days. I mean, the ultimate goal would be to get them under contract, get them closed and out of there. So the investor said they'd give them 30 days. So I took it. They took it. But yeah.
Would they prefer if like closing was just delayed a bit? If like closing, rather than it being, oh, like let's close in 2 weeks, if we made closing, 30 or 60 days out, is that something they would prefer?
They're open with either option. I just explained to them if we're doing that, we're a little bit, with turning around with like closing, selling and closing, on the same day, or buying and closing the same day with 2 homes.
Got it. Okay, cool. And then I guess my last question, I know you guys just dropped the price. I know you had it under contract with someone else previously. I know it's listed at 200. I think I could put together an offer that could be a really good fit for them. I think, working around like their timeline and kind of making everything super convenient for them. That's really doable for me. The only thing is I haven't taken a close look just yet. I got to take a little bit closer to figure out exactly where I'm at. But I'm probably going to have a really hard time getting up to list price.
Okay.
But my number one thing is my goal is of course, I don't want to make an offer that would insult them or you by any means. I guess my question is, what if it was a cash offer and kind of met everything that they're looking for? I guess what price do you think they would really need to be at in order to move forward?
I mean, like I said, they accepted that offer or the reduction in price to 190 from the previous buyer. But to me, originally they were saying the lowest they wanted to go is 200, but I think that's changed a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm just not sure.
Okay. No, I totally understand. No, that makes sense. Well, I'll tell you what, when are they looking to kind of accept an offer by? Is it, as soon as possible kind of thing?
Yeah, as soon as possible. I'm trying to see what this weekend holds with the showings. I think now that we've dropped the price to 200, we'll definitely see a lot more buyers, because before it was that 215 price. So
if what would showing, if I wanted to either myself or someone in my network wanted to go walk the property, is that something that you think we'd be able to do this weekend at one of the showings?
Yeah, definitely. If you just want to send me a text message with either your business card and the day and time, I can allow you access for the property. Just got to confirm that with the sellers. It's pretty easy to show though.
Awesome. All right. Awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, Annie, let's do this. Let me take a closer look on my end. Let me see where exactly I think I'd need to be at. And the way I kind of do things, so I'll let you know kind of exactly where I need to be at. And then when I have someone view the property, I also like to send typically just like 1 or 2 guys that I'm really, really close with. They'll also walk it so what that person was trying to do is they were just trying to find another buyer and assign the contract to them. So which, like, there's nothing wrong with that, but the worst part is, like, I don't know, they don't tell you about it, they don't explain what's going on, and it's like they pretend like it's just them buying it.
May not assign on the contract though.
Yeah, I know. Like, what they'll do is they'll try to just double close it. So yeah, I told you got to save my number, and I can let you know all the inside scoop next time. But so what I do is I like to look at the property, and if it's able to be good for me, awesome. We can still move forward with the offer that we have in place. And if for whatever reason, if something were to pop up and I'm like, oh wait, this is a bigger rehab, if one of the other guys that I had go and look at it, sometimes it's able to be a better fit for them than it is for me, or whatever. Sometimes they can do a job a bit cheaper, or they're already doing a project in that neighborhood. Either way, what I do is I'll let you know if that's the case, and then we can still keep the same contract in place, but they'll be the one buying it at the end, and we can keep everything the same timeline, same terms, and then it'll just get assigned to them at the end.
Okay.
Perfect. So Annie, I will tell you what, let me take a closer look, and I'll be in touch.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Come on, man. Hey, let's go.
Oh, yeah, brother. So, dude, you just
today.
Everybody that's watching this, look, the first call was what happens when you have an agent who thinks he's tight, and the other one is when you have an agent that has a property that's not moving. Look how things change, right?
Guys, and like, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. Like, this is a motivated property, motivated seller, motivated situation. The other one, it just wasn't. So this one, I was planning for it to be a really quick call, but I was like, no, this is a motivated house, motivated seller, motivated agent. So this is the one you want to take your time on. The other person, we uncovered information and wasn't a fit. Guys, oh man, there's so many gems to take out. I hope you guys listen to this call like 10 times over, because there's so many things you can pick up. Did you notice? So that perfect example of what not to do. Don't be that first wholesaler. Don't be that first wholesaler. They locked it up. They didn't have a buyer in place. They sent a buyer to go look at it. Buyer's like, no, I can't buy this thing. And then they had to cancel a contract.
No, she had to send a cancellation to them. The wholesaler didn't even cancel it. They just ghosted them. Trash. That's exactly what we're telling you not to do. You do not want to be sketchy, lie, cheat. You don't want to do any of that. That's not how you run a successful business.
Guys, and I literally told her, I literally said that I would be looking to assign it if it's not something, and that I would tell her and let her know, and that we would make it assignable. And she's like, yeah, perfect. So guys, come on, man. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy you guys got to see all that, because I feel like that's really, really helpful
Nate,
for some people.
Let me say something really quick, Nate. That you've been calling we've been on here an hour. It's just hit an hour. You've made two calls, one great relationship, one okay relationship. So when people come to you or come to us and say it doesn't work, it's not, guys, it's not that it doesn't work. It just requires the right conversation. You have to be honest. You have to have you have to have the buyers in place. Nate has buyers in Orlando. He knows someone he can call right now. We're ready. We're prepared. We know what to do next. If you just go out and you don't know what you're doing, you're making crappy offers, it's immediately, an agent can tell immediately, like, hey, sounds a little off. So you got to do things the right way.
100%. 100%. And guys, what are my next steps? The next thing I would do is I'm going to comp the property, right? See where it comps out at. And if I think, and the thing is, I can still make my offer below 190, right? And she also told us the whole situation. They had it for 205. She said, I'm pretty sure the situation's changed. They'd be willing to come down to 190. Guys, sometimes that conversation isn't like from 205 to 190. Sometimes that conversation is they went from, 399 to 310 just from a phone call. Properties listed for 399, they're willing to say yes to 310, right? Like literally almost 100 grand less. Those conversations, I had multiple of those conversations during my 30-day challenge. You'd be surprised how many of those opportunities are out there. But that's why the call is so important, because we wouldn't have been able to set any of this groundwork if I just sent a blind email, for 120 grand. That would have gotten absolutely nowhere if she even sees it, right? But whereas this, she likes me. She wants to work with me, right? She wants to hear what my offer is. And even if my offer is lower than where she wants it to be, she trusts me after that phone call, right? So she's going to really want to work. And I didn't even tell her that, I'm calling unrepresented. That was something I normally throw in there. And I just,
right, bro. That might have been a cherry on top. But hey, so look, if everyone found this information to be valuable and useful, what we were able to do today, come to the next Friday. All right. And even more than that, we do a masterclass that teaches exactly how to use Privy and how to use our strategy, the painless wholesaling method, to get deals. Okay. So we use this and we do this, and it works. So again, if any of you guys that are watching this live, if you're interested in learning more about Privy, sign up. I'll throw the link in here. It's very easy. Just sign up below. And if you're interested in the strategy we use that Nathan just used, the painless wholesaling method, where we have buyers in place. He filtered this. He knows who he's going to call. He knows who he's going to send. Come to our masterclass. It's literally right there at the bottom, painlesswholesaling.com. It's free to register. So
guys, and one other thing, just to if you're not already signed up for Privy, I don't know what you're doing, but that was 2 phone calls because Privy sent me these properties because it met the filters that I set. It met the criteria. So another person could be doing the same exact thing as me, but if they're not using Privy, they're searching through hundreds of actively listed properties, trying to find the 1 or 2 to call. Privy did all that heavy lifting for me and said, here's the 5 properties that you want to look at, see if you want to call these 5. So that's why I love Privy. I like you guys got to see in just an hour, you know, why you're able to do and if you want to do deals on a part-time basis, like this is how you do it. And you legitimately can make it work and cost no money. I didn't have to go skip trace that real estate agent or send her a postcard or you know, cold call her and have her cuss me out and hang up the phone. I didn't have to set up this elaborate pay-per-click campaign to get her to click and submit no, none of that. None of that. So
amazing. Awesome. Yeah. And I think I was going to say one more thing, but I can't remember. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Come check us out, or, you know, check if you don't have Privy. I'm assuming everybody that watches this has Privy. That's what I'm assuming. Most of the people that have it. But yeah, cool. Great job, Nate. And we had fun. We'll see you on next Deal Finding Friday, or come to the masterclass and we'll see you there.
See you guys at the masterclass. Love you guys. Be safe. Have a great week.
Have a great weekend. Peace out, everybody.